Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. Coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. Hey everyone, this is Liza, and we've got an interesting group here in the room.
I'm feeling outnumbered. Completely outnumbered.
Oh,
you know you're
swimming in
enjoying
the
it.
soul of estrogen.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Oh, I'm sure I will be.
Hang on, it's going to be a ride.
It's better a bunch of stinky guts.
So let's get to who is here in the studio with me. To my right, it's the lovely Sophia.
Hey there, party people. I could be Neil for you if you want me to.
Well played, well played. Running the board tonight, it's Stumpy John.
What's up, cabrones? How's everybody doing?
What's a cabrones?
Yeah, it's a bad word. It's a dirty goat.
Oh, Bakri Chod. Like that
Exactly.
There we go.
Yeah, Bagel got that one. Joining us, she's now officially like a stunt misfit. She's been on the show enough times. It's Wendy.
Pinche misfits.
Do we have a theme that's happening here? I'm finding this interesting. Now, joining us for the first time, we've got a few new people joining us on the Classy Girl Couch. It's Joe.
Hey, classy girl couch. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That works.
Going around the room in the seat usually taken by Neil. So this is some big shoes to fill. It's Kerry.
Hi.
We're going to go with Kerry 1. This is Kerry 1.
No, I'm Kerry 1.
And in Jim's usual seat, it's Kerry 2.
Hi, I'm Kerry too.
There we go.
Kerry also or Kerry 2?
Kerry as well.
Oh, there we go.
Kerry 1 and Kerry 2. And joining us from Velveeta, Oregon, it's Bagel.
Greetings, hello, and yes, I am here for the estrogen.
But of course, it would not be a show without the lovely Miss Emma.
Hello, darlings.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God. Try not to shout. Emma.
Listen, I literally just walked in the door. The traffic was wild.
Oh, was it? Heading back down one?
Yeah. So anyway, here I am, darlings.
Hi. Well,
Hi.
we got a lot to talk about, so we're just going to get right
Get
into
stuck
it.
in, darling. Don't
Why-
let me stop you.
Why do we have so much estrogen in the room? Well, that is a fair question. It started with Wendy, and Kerry, and then Joe, and then the other Kerry, and then Sophia. It just kept building up. So it started because Wendy and Kerry and I have been teaching dirt bike classes together. And so they came down to do a dirt bike class. And then Joe just kind of jumped in on that occasion.
I'm just
Sounds
tag
like a
along
party.
every now and again.
Sounds like a party. And then we managed to find out that Kerry 2 happened to be in the area.
Just nearby.
And then Sophia was like, well, I'm going to come. I want to come. A little bit of the Me Too little sister
Something
going
to
thing.
talk about this time.
You do. Yes, because you were actually in the dirt bike class.
It sure was.
Wendy, how did she do?
She did fantastic. I dare say she was a top 2 student in our class.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm. Very impressed. There's people that come into classes that cannot take instruction to save their life, literally. And then, there's people like Sophia where we're like, stick your booty out. And she's like, this is all the booty I've got. So, she was really giving it a go. But fantastic, man. The level of improvement over the course of the day that we spent together was amazing. It was really cool to see. Yep.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, I mean, we all got certified together and we're kind of new to being dirt bike instructors, and it's been a little rough, I would say.
That's one way to put it. It's been a rocky start, no pun intended.
Yeah, our first class, we had one student. He was a lovely gentleman, did everything we asked. It went smoothly well. I don't even know if that's the right word, but
It is now.
smoothly well. And then our second class, Kerry and I taught.
Mhm.
Not so much.
No, half didn't make it.
Yeah. So this is something that's been interesting. I've taught a lot of people how to ride informally through the garage and going to Hollister Hills with our groups and just sticking people on bikes. But to teach them formally and following, specific, class instructions, and which is built around safety first, But when Kerry 1 did our class, we had 4 students, and 2 we had to, what's the proper phrase here, Joe?
Counsel them out.
We had to counsel them out.
Or counsel them on to different training.
Which,
Well, we tried that.
which is hard. And then on this class you guys just taught, you had to counsel somebody out as well.
Right.
And this is a hard thing. And what that means is, as you're teaching the class, you're going through each lesson. You need to be able to progress. And if you're not able to progress, you get to a point where it becomes problematic in that you're holding the rest of the class back. And I assume you were giving people extra time, which then delays the length of the class. And you get to a point where it becomes a safety issue. Is that what happened yesterday?
Right. So we had, the class that's supposed to be about 5 hours and ultimately was 7 hours. And we do have a bit of leeway to extend exercises if we see that people are not picking it up as quickly as others and would benefit from a few more repetitions of these exercises. But I mean, within a certain buffer zone, we do need to keep the day going forward.
Right.
So when you reach the point where out of 6 students or 5 students, all but 1 are able to progress at the expected rate and they are able to interact safely with each other on the range, and then you have 1 person who's not.
Yeah.
You reach a point where you have to say, look, motorcycling isn't for everybody, but in this case, maybe it's just not for you this weekend.
Right.
Maybe it's time, that everybody has got, days that they're off or that type of thing. I can see that the passion is there,
Right.
but you've psyched yourself out at this point.
Yeah, and just to describe, the dirt bike class is not like taking people out on trails and jumping logs, what some people see in instruction. This is just a closed course and traffic cones and doing basic beginner riding technique.
Right. This isn't rawhide. We're not seeing how high we can jump a GS. This is very, very basic beginner rider training. So,
Joe, how many people have you had to counsel out in your career?
Ooh, that's a big question. I would tell you that in street courses, other classes that I've done, I would say that about 10% of your class, it's pretty common
Really?
to have, either a counsel out or just they're not getting where they need to be. And that seems like a really big number, but I mean, just keep in mind, a lot of street CAD classes are like 12 people in a class. In dirt bike school, I don't have that many people. I don't have that 10% rate necessarily because we have a smaller class. It's only like 6 or 8 people. Most of the time, it just happens, and you just kind of got to work through it. And sometimes you just kind of sit down as a coach and go, wow, I really suck. And you can't take it on yourself that way, but it does happen. And it's really hard to do. And it's really hard to get that student to the point where they're the ones that are recognizing that they need to make that decision to step back and say, hey, this isn't for me today.
Yeah, and that's something I find that's hard in that you can't take somebody aside and give them some one-on-one, bring them up to speed. You don't have the time, the luxury, or the space to do that. But did I hear correctly that somebody in your class had just learned to ride a bicycle?
Yeah, I was talking afterwards when I was taking a break, and we were both just sitting in the bleachers. It was very nice in the shade because it was so hot. But yeah, he was saying that he had only learned how to ride a bike a few weeks earlier and didn't even own a bike.
That's incredible to me. And I've shadowed on street bike classes before where somebody was trying to learn to ride a motorcycle and never learned to ride a bicycle. And they kept putting their feet down and trying to pop the bike back up instead of steering. And I can't believe that there's people out there trying to just leapfrog straight to a motorcycle.
In theory, they're supposed to disclose ahead of time whether or not they know how to ride and balance a bicycle. But a lot of people come into the class, they go, oh my gosh, well, I rode a bicycle like when I was 10, and they come into a class and you're like, so when's the last time you really rode a bicycle? And they go, oh, it's been a long time. Oh, no kidding.
Emma, when was the last time you rode a bicycle?
Oh, gosh, that's a great question.
I bet you. Has
actually,
it been a decade or two?
No, not as long ago as you might think. I mean, I rode a bicycle a month ago.
Oh, really?
Doesn't mean I was any good at it. But, yeah, I mean, bicycles are okay.
Yeah, I just find it fascinating that people are trying to leapfrog and do that.
It is something we ask our students on the street class. Have you ever driven anything with a manual transmission, and have you ever ridden a bicycle? And more, the answer is no to both of those questions. So we are starting with a blank slate. But in the street bike class, it's a 2-day class, sometimes a 3-day class. And the mindset there is we may be the last training that these people ever get before they go out on the street. If they are determined to ride a motorcycle on the street, this may be the last training. So we have a larger window of time and a little more flexibility to make sure that we can impart as many skills as possible. But that window is really, really truncated on the off-road class. And, the ultimate risks may be the same, but they're not interacting with other traffic in quite the same way. So I don't know if we just don't have quite the same, I don't know, quite the same value put on the off-road class as we place. And it could be a state difference too. I don't teach on-road training in California, so it could be a regional difference.
So, Sophia, I'm going to give you an opportunity here. Mm-hmm. I want you to be honest and frank. How were they as instructors?
They were great instructors, but I definitely
there's a button there. Yeah,
I definitely benefited from taking the training course to get my license first, because you kind of skipped over things like covering the clutch and you didn't really the other course just went into way more depth about how to use a clutch. So I feel like most of us there might have already known how to use a clutch, so it was fine, but yeah, I feel like for that one guy to be a first time ever is just a little, maybe the wrong class.
Did that guy make it through, or?
No, we had one student that we had to counsel out, and it was he was very understanding by the time that it got to that point. And like I said, you get to the point where you're so in your head about it that there's no way that this is going to be your day.
Yep.
And
to me, it's just kind of fascinating being old school when like a lot of us learn to ride where it's like on the street, like here's a permit, good luck. And with the street, it's like you find another kid with a dirt bike and you just go. Whereas now there are people getting actual instruction, and like I don't think they would have survived in the wild the way we did. You know what I mean? Just like good luck.
It's the hold my beer. My uncle just said, here, I'll hold my here. I'm just going to stand in the yard with the beer in my hand and send somebody out to ride. It was definitely a different time for when people were
I think that's essentially how Liza learned to ride.
Yeah. I just told people I knew how to already. Well, and speaking of rides, you guys, some of us went to Hollister Hills, did a little riding. What'd you think of Hollister?
I would love to explore more of Hollister.
Me too.
I am so excited for that idea.
Wendy explored a little bit more than the rest of us.
I sure did.
It was
Yeah.
festive.
Wendy ate shit or what?
I did. No, what?
So you heard talking about it.
So crude.
Sorry about
John.
She
Grass.
ate grass.
Grass.
I
She ate grass.
I wanted to go see that fence line.
that. Oh,
Down
it's
that
pretty over
hill.
there, isn't it?
It was lovely.
Oh, wow. There she is.
Wendy wanted to explore what's down that hill
Right?
off the side of the road.
You're on a TTR?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yep.
TTR, which she is fully blaming.
She did have a nice single track going
Yeah.
down, just saying.
I was not fully blaming, and I have two witnesses in this room that will tell you that at the end of the dirt bike class, I was telling the guys, I mean, we coach people, don't ride when you're impaired. And that means if you are mad, if you are distracted, we coached people about how to set their bikes up. And I had a rough morning and I was just cranky. I was distracted. I had a conversation with my husband and I said, look, I think I'm not going to go ride today. I'm not in the headspace to do it. And he's like, no, you're going to have fun. Just go ride. Then we get there and the bike is not set up for me. I'm like, what is this? These lever positions are obscene. How long are these people's fingers? And I'm like, bash, trying to move it. Nah, it's not going to work. I'm going to ride it anyway. So like I ignored all of these red flags that we coach people in every class, right? Make sure the bike is set up for you. Make sure you're in the headspace to ride. And I ignored all of my own rules. And what happened is I got a nice sightseeing tour down the side of a hill.
You did follow the rule of tuck and roll.
Yes, I did.
She also provided us an opportunity to exercise our recovery procedures and to try teamwork techniques and towing techniques and all of that. So it was good for us.
I will say there was a nice couple that stopped and they had in their bag, I don't know if you carry one, John, just a long strap, a flat strap.
Yeah.
Which, like a tow strap, which we needed to pull the bike up out of that
very helpful.
That hillside.
The hill was steeper than it looks in the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something I'm like, yeah, I need to get one of those.
Yeah, one of those
and
straps saved me. We were 30 miles out in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah.
And it busted a radiator.
Yeah.
So without that strap, we wouldn't have got back.
It was cool. It tucked away in just this tiny little pack.
Yeah, it's
It was a
perfect.
cool little thing.
We did get to practice, though. I mean, we did get to practice how to turn the motorcycle around and slide it around to get it directionally where we wanted it to go.
It's a good photo op, too.
All of the skills we teach, and we got several were challenges out of the deal.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you didn't have as good of a time, but I will tell you, one of the ladies was grinning like an idiot the whole time because Kerry 1 got a new bike.
Oh, yeah.
And got to try it out.
Yeah, what did you get?
I got Yamaha's brand new WR125R.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic bike.
That's
so it's
awesome.
a street legal.
Oh, it's street legal.
Street legal.
Dual sport.
Fun.
Awesome. In my humble personal opinion, I think Yamaha knocked it out of the park with this thing. It is incredible.
That's great.
It's awesome. It's a little bike, but it is perfect. It feels like a big bike.
Little bike, big fun.
Little bike, big fun. Feels like a real bike, like a full-size bike. Super comfy to ride. Very predictable. Awesome bike.
That's great.
Really love it.
You were grinning.
I was grinning like an idiot
time.
the whole time. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you're happy with that bike?
Stoked. Totally stoked. Yeah. The only thing I want to do is put double take mirrors on it. That's all I want to do to it.
You don't want to put any like guards on it?
A skid plate maybe. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about all I want to do to it.
How did it handle all the whoops we went on the trail?
So the whoops were really surprising. This is a brave thing here. I'm going to disclose my weight. I'm about 200 pounds. And on the whoops that we were doing, I did not bottom out once, which is incredible to me. And some of the whoops were, I thought they were pretty gnarly. I mean, it was an easy rated trail, but didn't bottom out at all.
Nice.
This is amazing. I was totally blown away by it.
And I took Joe and Kerry 1 over to the TT track because as we do. And there was a dude who's ripping. He's like sliding it in the turns and everything. And she's like, oh, I don't want to go out there when he's there. I'm like, we'll be fine.
Just do it.
Just wait till he passes and get right behind him.
Yeah, try to keep up.
Well, not keep up, but it'll take a while for him to lap and catch up. So I'm thinking we're doing one lap. We go around and she just keeps going.
I had to go.
She kept going. She does another lap. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're going again.
Oh, it was awesome.
All right.
I love that track.
And we
So
come
much fun.
around,
So much
we
fun.
get off
Yeah.
so the guy can pass. And then she just heads right back out again.
I had to keep going.
And I'm like, oh, we're going again. Okay.
So I had to take a video because,
Yeah.
of course, this guy's ripping around, but it also says stay on track.
Yeah.
And after, your festive dismount that you had, and then the fact that this was a WRWR challenge to be on a track,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, got to take video evidence, especially since it says stay on track. At first, when she first went out there, you were actually keeping pace with him pretty well.
I know.
And I was like, wow, that little 125 is really picking up speed.
Yeah.
I was actually, I should have gotten on it and ridden it when you gave me the option. I
Right.
just didn't do it. And I was like, I'm kicking myself now. I'm like,
Right.
I'm going to go pull it out of the van and I'm going to do it.
That's great.
Awesome. The whole time I went there, fastest fuck boy.
But even as she's out there and I'm showing her the video, she's like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And I'm like,
It was
it's
so
totally
much
cute.
fun. I freaking love that bike, man.
That's great.
It's I can't wait for people to ride it. They're gonna have so much fun.
Well, there
So-
were some more test rides this weekend. Wendy got to do a nice long ride on the Niken. We went up the coast, up Highway 1 to Half Moon Bay, and then we went all the way up to Alice's and rode Skyline and 9 all the way back. Wendy, what'd you think of the Niken?
And I love that Niken. I've ridden it once before when it first came out. I rode it with Yamaha in the Black Hills. And it was, it's one of those things where you look at it and go, boy, this is weird. I wonder what this is like. I got to check it out. And then about a half a mile later, you forget that you're on 3 wheels. And then you're like, this is just like a regular motorcycle. And then you're like, wait a minute. So then what's the point? So they did such an amazing job of answering a question that nobody asked. And I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Emma's going to own that bike someday, but only when she ponies up the cash.
Well, I've already explained that once you come to the realization that it is in fact a $5,000 bike,
Yeah. Once you come to the realization it's going up in value.
in your dreams,
Is that really what it is? A $5,000 bike?
No,
No.
no, that's
It's a running joke.
Emma has a thing about pissing in your airbox and offering you less than what your bike is worth.
well, that is my MO.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really glad you enjoyed it because when you look at it, it is quite the abomination to look at. But dear God, it rides well.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
different.
I'm
but it
glad
does ride extremely well.
I'm glad you like that because Joe got to test ride my CF Moto Ibex and didn't have as good of a time on it.
The Ibex or the Niken?
Oh no, wait. Oh yeah, the Niken. Yeah, you got to ride. That's right. You got to ride the Niken down the coast to Big Sur. We went the other way.
Yes.
And you had a complaint.
Emma's going to die when I say this. She's going to die.
Out with it.
All right. So my complaint was that it kind of made me a little numb.
In the bum?
No, in the cooter. So it was a little
She says it's
interesting.
making my cooter numb.
I'm like, it's making my cooter numb. And then that kind of triggered another conversation about another one that gave me a sunburn. So it's like, I'm a little...
Oh, Emma's crotch has been on
So-
fire before, so she can relate.
I'm a little picky about my seats.
Yeah, I understand completely.
And then I realized that I'm picky about my seats, but I'm not picky about my seats because evidently I must have a Germanic ass or something because the BMW seat that everybody hates,
John, you have a Germanic ass. Maybe that's what's happening.
the BMW
Could
seat
be.
that everybody hates, I have 0 problems with it. Everybody hates that seat. And yet here I get on that Niken and I'm like, I hate this seat. It's awful.
I love that seat. I find it very
Remind me,
comfortable.
Liza.
Yeah.
Is that a Yamaha seat or a Corbin seat on
It's
that
a
bike?
it's a Yamaha.
It is a Yamaha one.
It's the aftermarket Yamaha seat. I've got 2 sets of seats. Where this one just has like more like stitch cool stuff in it. It's like the sporty seat.
I mean, the one comment I will make on that bike, because it is so wide at the front, it's almost like you're on a horse. Your legs are that far apart. And so your butt does get a little more susceptible to vibration and pressure. So, yeah, I get it.
It was like being in Alaska, we call them snow machines.
Yeah.
In the States, they're called snowmobiles. It very much rode like what I would expect a snow machine to be like. And that's that wide front fairing. That's really what it did feel like. John was the one who made that connection for me earlier today, but it was just interesting. It's an interesting bike, though. It is an interesting bike.
We once built a bike here in the garage that used a metal tractor seat, and it was held on. Bagel remembers this. It was held on with a carriage bolt that happened to sit right in your. Well, we called it the gooch. The bike was called the gooch because it vibrated your gooch. Now, Carrie's making a face. No, I'm going to say it was almost pleasurable experience. You get right in the spot between the 2 places that is not pleasurable, and there's that's pleasant. The gooch.
Okay.
Now,
the gooch.
was that poor little twin star?
No, that was a CB900C.
Oh, God.
Yes, exactly.
Did that have enough vibration for you there, Emma? Just asking.
I'm just saying, sometimes it can work out right. But so you didn't like the Niken as much, but you got to ride it down the coast, down some of the nice curves. What'd you think of the handling?
I was really surprised by the handling. I didn't expect that it would stick. You get that 2 wheels in the front, and my brain just goes back to Can-Ams and how they can be really kind of tricky. But it was interesting because it felt like you could feel both wheels in the front. I don't know handling-wise if that's really accurate, but it really does. It grips the road. I mean, you told me it was going to grip the road, and it absolutely does grip the road without any problem at all. And the lean angles, I was playing with the lean angles as we were coming through those twisties just to see what I would get traction-wise and how well it would stay traction-wise in those lean angles and how far over I could lean that bike in some of those lean angles. So that's why I was drifting back on the way back a little bit more, because I was rolling the throttle a little bit more and then backing off so that I could actually get
That's why.
bigger lean angles inside of those corners.
But you also got to ride the Ibex. What did you think of that?
I was absolutely surprised by how much I liked the Ibex.
We got a winner.
I will absolutely say, and I am an ADV monster whore. I love ADV bikes, and I started out on a KLR, and I would venture to say that for someone coming into the ADV bikes, that a little bit larger of an ADV bike, that I really liked the Ibex and what it does and how it handles. And that's when we were going around in Hollister and doing things like that. I was really surprised at how well it handled in the conditions, and because it's only a 450. So it just was an interesting bike for me to ride, but I liked that. And if I were to tell somebody, hey, you have a choice between an Ibex and a KLR, I will tell somebody to take the Ibex first.
Yeah, and you have also, like, Wendy, you said you actually like the Himalayan, the new Himalayan, a little bit better?
I do. And I've owned a KLR 650 as well. So on my scale, the Ibex was very pleasant. It was fine. We rode it on the freeway a bit, and it had enough. I was keeping pace with traffic. There were a few situations where I would have liked to have passed somebody, and I knew it didn't quite have enough to pass comfortably. But it was nice. It was a fun ride. It didn't really leave me asking for too much more. The Himalayan 450 has definitely more top end.
Oh, more top. Okay.
Yeah. So it's got that going for it. Both of them are better behaved than the KLR for sure. They're a lot more fun to ride. But if we're talking about slightly oddball adventure bikes, in spite of its inauspicious ending. Man, I loved that Zonte's 703 adventure that
Yeah, but we don't get to play with those
murdered.
here.
I know. But, that was, it had that triple power. It was still nice and lightweight. It had, all the speed that you would need, but it was super, super nimble. I know. I'm sad that I blew it up.
Oh my. Well, one of the things that we are all here doing is participating in Women Riders World Relay, also known as WRWR. Sophia, would you like to do a baton pass?
Yes, I will.
It's time to get your phones out. Is it time? Is it time?
I've already passed with you, though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Do you want this one? The wooden one?
Do you know what this is?
You've told me, and I can guess that that's the baton from the first
This
WRWR.
is the original baton from the first one.
Ooh.
Did you know that, John? You want to see something even really cool?
It opens up.
Scroll with the autographs of a lot of the women who participated.
Very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've gone fully digital. We've been sharing the batons, having fun with that. And I wanted to give some quick updates to let people know some of the stats. Now that we've been doing this about 5 weeks, John, would you be shocked to know we are now at about 11,500 baton passes?
Last time I talked to you about this, you were at 5,000, so you've grown quite a bit. That's great.
Yes, 11,500 baton passes. And you can see how many passes we have around the world happening.
That's awesome.
So it's been a success. It's happening. And we keep spreading and sharing it with more people.
It's like the glitter of the craft room. You just keep spreading it everywhere. And it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going.
And you have to tell more people that you could do it with the same people every 24 hours. Because you never told me that. Otherwise, I would have gotten Wendy and Kerry's baton pass yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. But there's challenges. So you mentioned challenges. Which challenges have you guys knocked out on this trip?
On this trip?
Yeah. Live to ride, ride to eat.
Did that one.
That's a challenge.
That's a great challenge.
I know, right?
You got to help a friend, right?
Help
or
a friend.
another rider.
Pulling them out
Help
of a
Wendy,
ditch.
right?
Help
Pick up a
friend.
bike.
Wendy needed lots of help.
Pick up a bike, yeah.
But technically, I didn't get that one because I wasn't picking up my own bike.
I might be a stickler for details.
Sophia got to pick up her own bike.
Yep.
Oh, I think
That's
you
true.
guys, didn't you do a selfie with a Triumph?
This
Yes, we
afternoon.
did.
Mhm.
We had a nice Triumph here this weekend.
Selfie with electric bike,
Right. We had a Zero here,
riding on a track.
riding on the track.
Yeah, we
got
knocked out
my
a bunch.
international selfie.
Yes,
Emma?
Sophia, you did.
Oh,
She got photographed
I
with
get
a
to do
brick.
that one. I took a selfie with her today. Oh, fantastic.
With Emma? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did.
Post it.
You get to turn it in. John,
Yep.
you weren't here last week.
I was not.
You were somewhere pretty cool. Where were you?
Yeah, so I was in Cuba last
Ooh.
week. We've been doing,
That's a long way to go for cigars.
it's a long way to go for cigars. It is.
Good cigars, though.
We were doing some humanitarian work down there, bringing in medical supplies,
Hmm.
because right now the situation there is really, really rough. And I mean, no joke, mile-long lines for gas. It's just insane down there
Wow.
right now. So it's really great to be there and help some folks. Did smoke some cigars, did drink a lot of rum. So we had some fun there. But
What were the bikes like there?
the bikes are interesting. So I didn't get a picture of it, unfortunately, but I saw a Cafe Ural. Yeah.
What? We all did a head.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So, but they can get Russian bikes there. So, Urals are there. So they ripped a sidecar off and cafe'd it out. It was pretty cool. Saw a lot of Jawas. I don't know if you remember Jawa bikes. They used to be around back in the day. So all two strokes. But the scooter scene there at Bagel is on point. So
cool.
lots of new scooters. Lots of mostly obviously Chinese scooters.
Oh, they're bringing in Chinese. So these aren't like old scooters keeping on the road.
No,
Okay.
they're a lot of new ones, a lot of electric scooters too. So it was fun seeing everyone zip around on those. But yeah, I'm trying to. I really want to do a kind of a overland trip down there on motorcycles. So we did connect with a guy who's got GSs to rent. So maybe one day we'll pull a trip together, go to Cuba, and run around the island.
Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, let's do it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, I wanted to get real quick. This is part 2 of the quiz I gave last week. So I mentioned when I was in at the Ace Cafe, I'd done a little trivia contest, and people weren't really digging it. So I didn't do the second half. So what, Emma, you get to play along this time.
I did or did not?
No,
or
you,
I don't
you
have
do. You
to?
get to play along this time.
Oh, thank you, darling.
In fact, we got 10 questions here. So why don't we I'll do one question for each person. Okay, Sophia, we'll start with you.
Okay.
What city in England is home to the Triumph headquarters? Would you like multiple choice, or do you think you know the answer?
I'm worried that you might have talked about this at the podcast last week, and I do not remember. So I guess multiple choice.
All right, multiple choice. A, Shitterton. B, London. C, Giggleswick. Or D, Birmingham.
Well, I know 2 of the
I hope it's shit. I really do.
the cities
Shit,
in England, but I feel like maybe I gotta say Birmingham, otherwise Emma's gonna be upset. But I know you visited London, so I don't really know.
I need a final answer.
Birmingham. Let's go with that.
Emma? Is she
well
correct?
done, Sophia.
Hey-o. All right, let's go over to Kerry 2.
Hey.
What city in America is home to the Harley Davidson headquarters? Do you need multiple choice?
I'm scared that it's not Milwaukee. But I'll say Milwaukee.
That is correct.
Okay.
Nice job.
That was easy.
Okay. John,
Yes.
which of these major motorcycle manufacturers is not based in Japan? Honda, Suzuki, Zongshan, or Yamaha?
Wow, this is a head scratcher, this one. Let me think about it. Maybe Zongchen?
You are correct. That's right. All right. Let's go with
She's
Joe,
debating
you
on
ready?
which one to give me. She knows she's not going to give me anything easy. I'm going to end
Just
up using the phone a friend
Can I
option.
just say,
Yeah.
before we move on,
Yeah.
it's a crime that Zhong Shen didn't actually introduce the dong. Because
No,
you
that's
could have a
Benelli.
Zhong dong.
There's the Benelli dong. Have you guys seen the Benelli dong?
Not yet, no.
I
You should look it up.
say this, assure you, Google it. No.
Should we go
It's
incognito
okay.
mode?
No, it's okay. Do not Google cake farts, but do Google Benelli dong. Okay? I'm telling you, honestly.
If you order one, you got to get the purple seat.
Oh my.
Bagel! Bagel. All right, Joe.
Uh-oh.
What famous actor drove a motorcycle over a German prison camp's fence in The Great Escape?
The blonde guy. The blonde guy.
Do you need
Oh, you
multiple choice?
I do.
He's my spirit animal.
A, Charlie Chaplin.
No.
B, James Dean.
No.
C, Marlon Brando. Or D, Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen.
That is correct. All right.
AKA Harvey Mushroom.
Actually,
Yeah.
we're going to be pedantic here. You know it wasn't him, right?
I do know. It was Bud Eakins.
It was Bud Eakins. But, just it was Steve McQueen in character.
It's a good
Right.
thing I watch a lot of World War II movies. Just saying.
All right, Wendy. A motocross track consists of several jumps and obstacles. The mogul-like section of the track consisting of 10 or more tiny jumps in a row is called what? Do you need multiple choice?
Yes. I knew you because I was gloating earlier about how I knew all the answers last week, and I've known all the answers so far. So I knew you were saving me something special.
Is it A, boops, B, loops, C, nopes, or D, whoops?
I had no idea that whoops was like the actual technical term. I just thought that was slang. So
It is whoops.
yeah, you learn something new every day.
And then you got to figure out how to whip it.
Oh, no,
Good.
I vote we change them to boops.
The boops.
I like the boops.
You like them up? All right. Emma, are
So-
you ready?
I feel I'm born ready. Yes, darling.
What is the approximate ratio of motorcycles to cars worldwide?
Mm.
Do you need multiple choice?
Bloody hell. You could give me 1,000 choices and it would be a really, really hard. Because, I mean, obviously, here in America, it's 100 to 1. But if you go to Asia, motorcycles outnumber cars. God dang it.
Would you like me to give you the multiple choice?
Are you including scooters as motorcycles?
Good question.
Yes. So, is it A, 2 bikes for every 1 car? B, 1 bike for every 2 cars? C, 1 bike for every 3 cars? Or D, 1 bike for every 10 cars?
No, I'm gonna go A because I think if we were to go, it's just the sheer volume of people in China, the sheer volume of people in India who ride bikes. So I'm gonna go A, and I'll stand by that even if it's wrong.
It's actually B, 1 bike for every 2 cars.
So I mean, at least I wasn't wildly out.
Wow.
All right. Kerry,
Okay.
which of these actors did not star as a biker in the 1969 classic road film Easy Rider?
Oh, okay.
Was it A, Jack Nicholson, B, Dennis Hopper, C, Peter Fonda, or D, Robert De Niro?
D.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All right. Did I get everybody? Did I do you, Bagel?
No.
Not yet.
Okay. We got one left for Bagel. Okay. Bagel.
Yeah.
Probably the most famous rider of all time. This multiple world champion ran the number 46 on his motorcycle and is nicknamed the Doctor. Who is he?
Can I get a multiple choice?
You get to phone a friend. You get the phone a friend option. So
I think
here's
I might
raising
know
their
who it
hands.
is,
Phone
but
a
I
friend.
need-
Phone a friend.
Everybody here is nodding expectantly.
Is it A, Giacomo Agostini? Giacomo Agostini? B, Max Biaggi? C, Valentino Rossi? Or D, Marc Marquez?
Oh man, I know those names. I have not watched hardly any motorcycle racing, so I want to say Marc Marquez. I know.
Bagel. You definitely hit a boop, not a whoops.
Bagel, your penance is you have to go watch
Wah.
MotoGP for the next 4 days.
That's my penance. Yes.
All right, I have one left. Who wants to take it?
It's a team effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or first to say it.
Crowdsource.
Okay. In which country was the first motorcycle invented? Now, I have a clue if you need.
I think it was France.
France?
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
thinking somewhere in Europe.
It was called the Reitwagen.
Oh,
Germany.
Germany.
Oh, well, that's in Germany.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys
But
get
that,
it.
that didn't have a motor, though.
Yeah, it actually did.
Did it?
And there's a picture doing the rounds. They have a perfect replica of it at the Host Museum in Austria. And
Huh.
there's a picture of me with it. It's got a wooden frame.
Yeah. And they
You
had a
can't
motor on
stand
it.
astride it. You don't sit down on it. You stand astride it. The German inventors were very prolific around that time. Because
Okay.
the automobile was German as well.
Yeah. Well, this is invented by Gottlieb Daimler. from Daimler-Benz, and Wilhelm Maybach,
Ooh.
who I believe founded the Maybach company that makes
Das
super
guy.
fancy cars.
And he didn't know
Interesting.
Valentino Rossi.
I know.
Or Mark Marquez.
I know.
Huh?
Well, I had a question for Emma and anyone who wants to pitch in what they think. Something that, oh, yes, Bagel.
Also, one other thing I wanted to note that this Reitwagen, it precedes the first car. That was not invented until 1887, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
Was it steam powered?
No, it was auto engine, made by Daimler as well. So yeah, he started with the motorcycle before he went to cars.
But I mean, if you really want to get, it actually did have 4 wheels.
Well, like
So kind of like the
outrigger
Niken
wheels?
Sprint?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's got like proper wheels, but it's got little outriggers on it as well.
Right.
So you could argue it had 4 wheels, but it's a motorcycle with outrigger with training
Like
wheels.
training wheels.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, everybody was riding one for the first time, so
Yeah.
give them a break.
I'll take that.
So, another thing that the group of us got to do is when we went to Hollister, I first went to the Corbin factory so we could go to lunch there. What did y'all think of that whole experience?
That was interesting.
The seat factory with a 50s diner in the middle of it.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And I did my usual, like, come on, march everyone through. And all the workers are like, who the fuck are you? But we had a nice lunch. And then who did we run into?
Mike Corbin.
Mr.
Mike.
Corbin. Yep.
Oh, Mike was there.
Mike
I
was
wasn't
there.
around.
Yep.
He came out and chatted with us. He's such a sweetheart. He is. So that was just a nice, I think, experience for
Mhm.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I've been to a seat place where you get to see like one person working on a seat, but to see the whole process, the whole manufacturing process was pretty interesting.
Yeah. And Wendy, were you impressed with all the tooling and everything that you have, all the things they're able to make there?
Man, it was cool. Like it was, you could see like the entire timeline of innovation of machinery in the facility there. It was really cool. So from like really, really basic shaping and stamping tools to CNC machines and all the injection machines, just like, you see a Corbin seat, you see it in all the distributor catalogs, and you think of this as like a mass manufactured type thing. But to walk through there and see the people that are actually crafting these seats and the care that goes into making all of these little bits and pieces was really, really cool.
The extensive amount of just the mounting hardware that's custom made for each model specific thing that are then categorized in all these little bins.
Right. It was like Indiana Jones, that when he walks into the warehouse and it's just endless rows of all of the bits and pieces for all motorcycles ever. Yeah, it was mind-boggling.
It was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that it's not like they buy bits and pieces from other places and then assemble it. They actually make their own seat pans and their own parts to put it all together, and the padding and the covering, and they do all of it. And it's fascinating to see the whole process.
Yeah, and also they have the whole workshop for creating all the fiberglass,
everything,
for all the ABS molds. I mean, everything.
It was amazing. It was
there.
Coming from my textile side, I was super impressed by it, and it's silly. I mean, I look at the sewing machines that are there, but coming from my textile side, the precision and care that they really put into each of those seats, and I know how hard it is to stitch a good line. And those gals were just stitching impeccable lines. I just stood there staring at them for quite a while, just looking at it and paying attention to that, just even from the initial person who's coming in there and cutting out all of the patterns and everything else that she was doing. And just really the careful precision that she was doing all of that was really impressive.
I'll tell you the thing that impresses me the most as somebody who's visited there multiple times. I think you guys saw this. And Emma, you're going to know when I say this. Yeah, it's the employees that are there that have been there, some for decades. because Mike creates a good work environment. Wouldn't you say so, Emma?
Absolutely. I mean, Mike really started that company from bare bones. He clearly values his employees. And it's such a trip meeting with them because that girl who stitched your seat, that seat you have on your bike, was almost certainly stitched by a Mexican gal wearing giant hoop earrings and big acrylic nails. And it's just a wonderful thing to see them and how easily they stitch these seats and how accurately. It's a fantastic place to visit. I always enjoy visiting there. And, a lot of very, very skilled people throughout. My only complaint is, my God, working in that place every day, the smell is quite intense, isn't it, in the fiberglass shop?
That's awesome.
It makes up for all the ab gas that I smelled as I was working on deployments.
And didn't you just have like a replay of that interview with Mike Corbin?
Yeah, I did.
Because I listened to it and I enjoyed it a lot. And you can tell, like, I don't know that many people that would like go back to college for their business to make it a better place for like their employees and stuff.
Yeah. But it's something that I think is unique in a company that you can talk about the quality of the product they make, but not the quality of the workplace that people know about. So it's something I just wanted to say. He makes it a good workplace. Even like the lady working in the diner, they've been there forever too. So,
right.
Yeah.
So if anybody is listening to this who actually owns a factory, there is this link between a quality product and quality employees that really should be explored more than it is. So there you have it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Emma, I wanted to ask a question. Again, this is for you or for anyone who wants to answer it, but just something I thought was interesting. As we're doing our riding today, or this weekend, I was out there riding my lovely KTM 990 SMT that I love.
Which is a fine bike.
Which sounds a lot like a sewing machine. And riding along with Kerry too, who's on, is it 1250, a GS 1250. And then, passing, a Harley and realizing these are all 2-cylinder kind of large displacement bikes that not only do they sound completely different, they act completely different. I mean, John, even putting like your Sporty and my KTM in the same, like, you wouldn't put them in the same category.
No, it's completely different worlds.
And I wanted to talk about, Emma, what exactly makes them different? Why do they act and sound so different?
There's a variety of factors that contribute to how an engine sounds. The number one, which I think really differentiates certainly a Harley, say, from the KTM, an engine's displacement, which is basically its size, is governed by the bore and stroke. The bore is the size of the piston across, and the stroke is the amount it takes to go from the top, which we call top dead center, to the bottom dead center. Now, for a high horsepower, high revving configuration like your KTM, you want a short stroke engine so that the piston is changing direction very, very quickly.
Jim, John, you're used to a short stroke, right?
Well,
that's what my wife says.
Well, yeah, but John has quite a long stroke in his Harley.
Oh, there you go.
So,
hey,
that's why he rides it.
It kind of
got to compensate somehow.
In the past, we've kind of talked about damping on suspension, slowing things down, and having a longer stroke gives the engine, even at the same RPM. A short stroke engine and a long stroke engine will sound substantially different. The long-stroke engine has a lazier tone to it. But that's just one factor. The way the valves are open and closed also has a bearing on how the engine sounds. Your KTM is an overhead cam. John's Harley Davidson is a pushrod. Now, back in the old days, BMWs used to be pushrods, the very old airheads, and then they went to overhead cam, and the actual tone of the engine changed. There's a third factor. When the piston is coming up to top dead center, not on the compression stroke, on the exhaust stroke, the exhaust valve is just beginning to close, because as it's approaching top dead center, the open exhaust valve has done its job. All that gas has been pushed out of the exhaust port, but it's still open fractionally. Meanwhile, the intake valve is beginning to open in readiness for the piston changing direction, drawing down and drawing in the air-fuel mixture. And when those valves are both open together, that's called valve overlap. And that has an incredible bearing on what an engine sounds like. And manufacturers monkey around with valve overlap because it can change the power characteristics of an engine quite substantially. All of these factors, all of them, and the size of the exhaust itself, the size of the intake, everything changes the tone of an engine. Just as we as people have very, very different voices, your bike has its individual voice as well.
All right, I have another question.
Yes.
So as I was out there with Kerry and Liza, I was riding behind all three of them, and I'm segueing this a little bit. So I'm trying to understand. So the Niken, it felt like if I put the GS all the way at the hardest setting, right? And then I was watching, that's what it feels like to ride that Niken. And the suspension just seems really hard. So I was watching the back end of Liza's bike, and I was watching the back end of Kerry's bike, and I was looking to see what that suspension travel was on the back end. So what makes that different between all of these different manufacturers and the way that these bikes are made? Is it just...
Are you jumping to suspension when we're talking about motors?
Yes, I am jumping to suspension because I'm trying to understand something.
I gave this a suspension analogy, so you're okay with that, Joe. Suspension geometry is really down to manufacturers, and everybody's got their own idea how to achieve it. And there's no real magic bullet, There is no magic bullet. Motorcycles will behave very differently depending on who manufactured them, who set them up, and what the ultimate goal is for. You've got to remember with, say, the Niken. The Niken at its heart is a sport bike, whether you like to think of it as one or not. It's a sport touring bike.
Yeah.
The GS is an adventure bike, so it's actually going to have a lot more compliant suspension than the Niken, which is, at its best being thrown around not so much a track, but very, very fast, twisty roads, which is where I feel you enjoyed it the most.
Yes.
The GS Geländestraße, it's just as happy in the dirt as it is on the road. So it's going to have a lot more compliant suspension. That means more cush for your tush.
But Emma, even like my Ducati 900 SS, that was more, it felt more like almost like a Sportster engine, like it really rumbled more than a BMW or the KTM.
Wow, but those old ducks were quite long stroke engines, and yes, it was an overhead cam engine, but Ducati liked getting gases in and out of their engines as much as possible. So you had quite a large diameter exhaust pipe. I'm not talking about the mufflers. I'm talking about the exhaust pipe itself, which contributed to back pressure or lack thereof in the engine, which again changes the exhaust note. There are so many variables, and they all contribute to noise.
Isn't there something to do also with the degrees of the crank, like 270 degree versus versus others will change the sound.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, in its purest form, that's just with a V twin. But you could argue that a BMW is a 180-degree V twin, because it's basically a V twin that's done the splits until it's completely flat.
So,
But yeah, the included angle between the cylinders, yeah, that plays a factor. Harley Davidsons are quite narrow. It's 45 degrees or something?
Mm-hmm.
so Emma, it's been
Whereas the
said that
dark is 90 degrees.
it's been said that that Harley is engineered to make the potato. So is that the crank position? What is that decides that?
I would say on a Harley, that is more cam lift and overlap and included angle between the cylinders. Yes.
Well, the thing too is that it's not just the angle of the cylinders, but it's where the conrods meet in the crankshaft too, right? Because it all depends on both of those things to fire that engine at a certain time. So yeah, it all comes down to the timing, really, right? In the end.
And then that relates to if it's more high end or low end torque. When you're talking about the stroke?
A short stroke engine will tend to be a lot higher revving than a long stroke engine. Long stroke engines make a lot of power down low. They sound great. They sound very, very meaty, but they tend to get quite harsh and vibratory when you go up the rev range. Short stroke engines lack torque. So basically, if you're at like 2,000-3,000 revs and you give it a handful, it's not going to do a great deal. You need to rev it to get power. The good side is when you start making those revs, the engine will vibrate a lot less, because there is basically the reciprocating mass, the up and down mass, is expressed differently.
So
yeah, it's not moving as far, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So I want to try something out. We're going to go around the room with this. So just give you all a heads up. So as I said, and John, you can start this, or if you want to, I want to hear everyone kind of emulate the sound their bike makes. So like
Which one?
Well, pick a bike, because we know, like I said, Harley is go potato. So John, what does your KLR sound like?
Accurate.
Thump, 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 thump.
Yeah, thump, 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 thump. Sophia, what does your KLX sound like?
I feel like it's not that far off from that. Like thump, 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 thump.
You think it's a thump, 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 thump?
I mean, I usually try to wear earplugs, but I don't really remember what it sounds like. But,
because as she's saying, like every engine design is going to have a little bit different engineered sound. So thump, thump, thump. We'll go with that.
Sounds like duck
All right.
farts.
Carrie, too, you're riding a GS.
GSA, yeah.
What does that sound like?
It's a straight hum.
Depends on if it's got an acropovic on it or not.
A movie that I was fascinated with was 12 O'Clock High, talking about World War II movies earlier. And it was just bomber plane after bomber plane after bomber plane. And it's the same tone in my head.
Yeah, but if it's just idling, what is the sound? Because it's not going when it's idling.
Oh, like I stop to listen to it idle.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds a little bit like a VW Bug, wouldn't you say?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little purr to it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's nicer than Bug.
That's the Germanic thing that I can do on the back of the throat. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, you used to have an SV6 or SV.
Nope.
No, are they?
I had a Triumph Tiger.
Oh, Triumph Tiger triple.
I did.
All
I
right.
had a triple. So
How's that sound?
well, it sounds like a Singer sewing machine. Oh, It does. It sounds like a singer sewing machine. It's just like he, and then it goes wee. Because then when you start to roll that throttle, it sounds like a jet engine starting up. So it's a triple. It's just it does. It sounds like a singer sewing machine.
See, I say that my KTM sounds like Versace's sewing machine.
Oh wow, it is much higher end.
Yes,
but it breaks down more.
Emma, what does what does Rufus sound like?
Oh, Rufus?
Yeah.
Rufus goes, usually, I can get my cat to make exactly the same noise.
All right, Wendy, you're famous for having 6 of the same bike.
8.
8? You have 8 now? Did you get
FJs.
more?
8 of the same FJRs.
Oh,
Yep.
good. FJR, what does that engine sound
Just-
like to you?
No, I want to know what it sounds like at highway speed.
About the same.
When you go
Which
flying past
speed?
it.
Which speed at highway speed?
Yeah.
Nope,
At Wendy speed.
I have a nice big V-Stream windscreen. I have a very quiet sound pocket behind that windscreen, and it sounds exactly the same.
But what does it sound like to us when you go past us?
Do I care?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Kerry, which one of your bikes do you want to pick?
I can do the Tenere.
All right, what's the Tenere sound like?
Yeah. It's got a
All
Yoshi
right.
on it, so it's kind of growly. But,
Bagel, what does a Heinkel sound like? Because most people have never heard one.
wow.
Well, a Heinkel typically sounds like it depends on what type of exhaust it has, but typically it's fairly quiet. It's a pop 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 pop. But if you get a bunch of them riding together, it does sound like a bomber squadron when you're riding. It's like this droning noise, like. Brrr.
Should we all do that at the
Yes.
same time?
Yeah.
Is that what
Is that what it sounds like?
Traffic light. Sounds
Yeah.
kind of like river dance.
Well, thank you for participating in that. I just think it's interesting that you can get what is basically, different cylinder, same cylinder engines, but that are engineered completely different, act completely different, sound completely different. And I just find that fascinating. I think a lot of people don't really know the why. I thought I would ask.
But on a slightly cautionary note, I have always been just completely addicted to the screaming banshee wail of a 4-cylinder bike. And it's a noise that's going away.
Mm.
And I really think it's going to be gone sooner than people think. All the
Wow.
middleweights are gone now.
I mean, 4-cylinder engines are more expensive to make.
They are. And, Japan has really jumped on with twins. And twins are great. They're punchy, they're torquey.
Twins are great, but we all know that 3 is the right amount of cylinders.
And, triples, they're just so quirky and they do sound good.
I do love them.
But just that scream of a 4, when you're approaching 10,000 or beyond, there is nothing like that noise. It really makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, and it's going away. And I hope future bikers will get the chance to experience it, if nothing else, just to hear it. Because there'll never be anything like it.
Well, Emma, one place that you'll. Oh, you got a question, Bagel?
Well, I have one other point I wanted to raise too about the sound of bikes. And we talked about exhaust, and that has a lot to do with it. But the intake also can change the sound of a bike too.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of bikes have air boxes that are very specifically tuned for the performance, but it also produces a certain sound as well. And if you put pod filters on it, it completely changes the sound of the bike. So yeah, your intake can have quite an impact on the sound, just as much as the exhaust.
I've never really thought of that.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, it's a trick that manufacturers employ, because as noise controls become a lot more stringent,
Yes.
how do you make your bike more exciting to ride? Well, if you introduce an intake element noise into the experience, it can really sound good, but not be obnoxious to people around.
Right.
Late model Gixxers are perfect examples of that. They've got a very, very distinct intake sound that's very, very exciting, but they've got very quiet mufflers on them.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a known thing.
Well, Emma, one place I know you're going to continue to be able to find some of the bikes that you love is at
Yes.
the Mecum auction. Have
Yeah.
any of you been seeing any of the videos coming out of the Mecum auction?
Yes.
Does everyone here know what that is? It's just it's an auction that happens. It happens a couple times a year, right, Emma? In different locations.
The big
Vegas
one is Vegas.
Yeah, the big one is Vegas, where this is where people send their vehicles to go to auction. There's specifically a motorcycle auction. So what you're going to get are, when there's a collector ready to sell, so there's going to be vintage bikes, they're collectible bikes, but you also get just bikes that have been maintained or restored really well that people think have some value. And what's interesting is you see that these trends happen. For instance, one of the trends that was happening now is that the 80s sport bikes are starting to climb. Traditionally, a bike devalues until what, about 40 years, Emma? Is that?
Yeah,
It's about
it
30 years
varies from bike
old.
to bike.
Till like a bike will devalue really till it's about 30 years old, and then it plateau, and then it'll start to come up in value if it's a collectible or a great condition bike. And so you start to see these bikes that are about 30 to 40 years old, at least there. It's weird to me to see these classic bikes that are bikes that aren't that old to me, it seems. Like the anniversary edition, like Harleys that were coming through.
That's because you're old now, too.
I know. But Emma, I wanted to talk a bit about some of the trends that were happening and some of the prices, because I was shocked at some of the prices that bikes were going for, and not that they were high value. I'm talking Craigslist prices.
Well, hang on. Before we do that, we're going to look at some of the highlights.
Okay.
Number one sale, 2004 Honda RC 174 George Beale replica. Now, George Beale, I think George is still with us. He's long retired now. He built a 1967 replica Honda race bike in 2004. So this is a replica. $330,000. That was the most expensive listing.
But that's a rare bike, and the replica is also going to be a rare bike.
Well, I mean, the original is just priceless.
Yeah.
So now we come to the one that a lot of people were talking about, the CB750 prototype.
Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting bike because this is a true prototype bike. It predates production by a year. Basically, one of one. The very first CB750 sent to the US. It has been restored, but it's been restored to exact factory specs. $313,000.
And this is for, what, I think it was a 68, technically?
68.
68, because everyone knows the CB750s came out in 69.
Yep. The Vincents still fetch big money. 1938 Vincent HRD Rapide Series A, 236,000. 1924 BMW R32, very early bike, beautiful bike, 209,000. And then we've got a 34 Harley Davidson Speedway bike, 203. Absolutely just drop dead gorgeous Indian Chief. I would kill for this bike. 187 grand. And I mean, it looks like it's worth every penny. And then 74 Ducks. You know, the 750 SS have always been big money bikes. 187.
Wow.
So, and so it goes on. Now, Mecum are very candid about what their everyday bikes sell for. They like posting, the top 10, as it were. And it appears that there's still plenty of money around for bikes.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, though. And this is what we're going to come to. There were a couple of surprises for me. The Flying Dragon bikes, ultimately, whether you love them or hate them, Flying Dragons are basically CL350s with pretty paint jobs. Is that a $45,000 bike? I really don't know. I think my conclusion from Mecum, and I could be wrong, but this is just the flavor I'm getting. It's becoming a little more realistic because we're seeing a difference now between motorcycles and collectibles. And to me, a $330,000 Honda is a collectible.
Well, and that's a one of a kind.
A Flying Dragon is a collectible. And a prototype, that is a collectible. And what we're seeing is the more mundane classic bikes that you can actually ride have actually reduced in value. There were a ton of Commandos. I mean, a ton of them, starting at $5,000 for rideable bikes. And if that means that you can return ownership of classic bikes to people who can actually afford to buy them and ride them, that has to be a good thing. So if we separate these stratospherically priced collector machines and let the collectors have them, let them buy them, put them away, do whatever they want with them until they come up for sale next year, that's fine. But I think it's great that the everyday bikes are actually reducing in value. There were some interesting everyday bikes that still fetch big money. There was a pretty. Hang on, wait a minute. Where are we?
Well, they had everything. Like I remember just seeing a monkey bike, original monkey bike, like a mini bike, and I think it just went for a few grand.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still getting the highlights here. Wait a minute.
Jump in.
I have a question. So, all right. So some of the other big collector auction type places, they're selling bikes at high values, but oftentimes those are bikes that are basically big tax write-offs because they're going to charity. Are any of these bikes that were at Mecum the ones that pulled these big values, or any of those kinds of bikes that were sold for charity? Okay.
Yeah, no, of course they are. Because if you're dropping $330,000 on a motorcycle, that means you've got sufficient financial clout, number one, to buy a $330,000 motorcycle. But secondly, you've figured out a way for that to become a tax write-off.
Yeah, the week prior,
that's why I said we're going to separate these from the conversation about motorcycles. They've kind of transcended being a motorcycle, and now it's like a piece of fine art. Well, it's like a Monet or a Van Gogh.
But I was going to say even like we were talking about the CB750 prototype, but there was another CB750. Oh, what are you showing in there, Bagel? A scooter?
Well, I'm bringing a trailer yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
There's a 1963 Vespa GS 160 that sold. Do you want to guess how much it sold for?
Go on.
Guess.
$7,000.
Keep going.
$15,000.
Keep going.
No kidding. 25.
Well, not quite. $16,900.
Wow.
$16,900 for a 1963 Vespa.
Okay, and what was so special about that it pulled that much money down?
I mean, it's just a 1963 Vespa. There's nothing really that special. It's fully restored. It's fully restored. It has some aftermarket performance parts on it. Better shocks, electronic ignition, a 12-volt electrical system, things like that. But it's just a 1963 Vespa. It's a really nice one, grant you, but that's big money for a scooter.
And Bagel, how many are there? Like, we were talking about some being one of a kind. How rare is that?
Oh, there are thousands of these. I mean, they made probably I don't even know, but tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of Vespa GSs. It was Vespa's flagship model from about 1962 through 65 or 66, I think. So it was a very popular bike. I mean, it's sort of a classic in the scooter world. So it's a very sought after model, but that's a lot of money.
So I think, the conclusion we're gonna draw from this is the right machine. Oh, excuse me. The right machine is always going to fetch big money. And the right machine means the right specification, the right color, the right condition.
Yep.
And it doesn't necessarily need to be a particularly special bike. It just needs to be elevated.
Well, but Emma, I wanted to talk about, like, we were talking about the prototype CB750 that went for a lot, but there was might have been like, I think it was just a 69, just a CB750. $8,000. Like,
perfect.
That's Craigslist prices.
Yeah.
And that's where it belongs, so that an average working man or woman can buy that bike and ride it and enjoy it.
Yes, but I saw some Harleys, like some 90s Harleys, going for like I think that I saw a bagger go for like $3,700. Like, nothing.
Because there's a lot of them out there, and not a lot of people are buying them.
Yeah,
that's true.
And Emma, didn't you say is it the European bikes that were doing well?
British bikes continue to decline. And there's a variety of reasons. I don't see it coming back. The market for them is declining. The people who can actually ride them and enjoy them is getting smaller. Particularly the kickstart ones. The ones that are left, the perfect bikes, the Vincents, to a certain extent, the Ariel Square 4s. But I turned a Square 4 last year through my shop at the end of last year that I'd sold in 23 for $20,000. And it was $6,000. That was all the money for it.
Really?
Wow.
That's painful.
That was all the money for it.
Yeah, because there was a guy I met last year who bought a Square 4 for I think it was under $10,000.
Yeah, they're out there, and this was a original paint black bike, nice bike.
Wow.
Yeah,
original.
because that was the money for it.
Man.
So the market is continuing to evolve.
Yeah.
I love the idea of working people being able to afford these things. I think it's great to see. And I see it as a separation. I really do. These big money bikes now, they're just in the hands of collectors. And it's almost like it becomes a known bike in collector circles, so it generates its own value. It generates its own solar system. And then it's going to be the same group of people bidding on it until they either decide to get out of the game or die off. And that's fine. That's their business.
Did you see Paul Dorland's he bought a bike. It is a 65 Velocet Scrambler.
Yeah.
You want to guess?
Likes his
You want to
Velos.
see how much? Yeah, he has a collection of them. You want to guess how much he paid for it?
I think he got into that quite cheaply. Wasn't it about 7, Mark?
$4,500.
45. Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was
$4,500.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yeah. So it's just interesting seeing the trend, seeing those 80s sport bikes coming up, and then these British bikes going down, and the 90s Harleys kind of going down. It's just interesting to see what's happening there.
Well, we're seeing that over in the car. It's all car side, right? We're seeing the same thing. It was really interesting to watch as many of these cars were coming through. The ones that were 80s and 90s cars, good night. I remember working on these in high school, and seeing those ones come through. It's a similar thing. It's the customer base that's coming through right now. But those 80s vehicles were just absolutely hot. It was crazy to me.
Well, Emma, this is proof why my Niken is worth more than you think, because it's just going up in value because of its unique.
So is my KLR.
No, it's not.
However,
Especially because it's got the digital camo.
I know, pretty cool.
It's pretty hot.
late 80s and 90s bikes have quite a broad appeal.
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very gratified. I rode Rufus to the garage today.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the UC Santa Cruz kids, their reaction to it.
I mean, we don't really see purple bikes that often.
They didn't know anyone put colors like that on a bike.
Right. And seeing their reaction to it and seeing their reaction to the styling, and they're like, that's not a goofy old bike. That is an amazing looking bike. So, they hold really broad appeal.
I don't know, Emma. They would have the same reaction if you showed up in Dayglow spandex.
Well,
That's probably true.
well, maybe I should next week.
Bring it.
Well,
dare you.
hey guys, I wanted to get to emails because we've got a bunch.
Would you send me one?
I can send you one if you want.
Yeah. Well, no, you've got plenty of people in the studio. Just read on.
All right. Well, let's get to this first one that Sophia's going to read because I thought this was a nice tip.
Yeah, it's from December. Hi, Liza. Hi, Miss Emma. I'd be willing to be the idea for refilling brakes from the bleeders using a turkey baster came from the marine world. The best way to refill an outdrive or an outboard motor transmission is to fill it from the drain to ensure there's no air or water in the new oil. It does require something with a little more pressure than a turkey baster is capable of, but you wouldn't need that kind of pressure for something as small as brakes. Just my 2 cents. Thanks for a great podcast. I hope you have a great holiday. Jim Marcus.
Now,
Stamford, Connecticut.
Now, Emma or Wendy, have you ever used a turkey baster to do the brakes?
Not ever once.
No, I haven't either. I've
Nope.
used a turkey baster for other things.
Emma, calm down. What do you think of that idea?
Basting a turkey.
There's any number of ways that, you basically bleed the system from the bottom up. It's a, great way to chase the bubbles along. Never heard of a turkey baster, but there's no reason that, similar thing. People use syringes and all sorts of things.
And, I've never had a problem. The worst case scenario for me, the hardest brakes to bleed are always the single line, long, dirt bike front brakes. And my trick is I just stand on a chair. Once you take the caliper off and hold it higher than the master cylinder. And the moment that the caliper gets higher than the master cylinder, you bleed them in an instant.
The hardest to bleed, inclusive of servo BMW brakes.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, BMW servo brakes. I've got this little tool that I use to actually power them up,
See,
and it pushes them through. It's great.
when you have the little powered tool, but I would say, all things being equal, we are talking about turkey basters. Those would be more difficult than dirt bike brakes for people with a turkey baster.
All right. All right. I have one here from Matthew.
Hey, Matthew.
Mathieu.
He says, hello, Misfits. First, I would like to thank Jim for setting up the Desert Hare 3. I had a great time getting a ride with a group of Misfits and having my first experience in the desert. Second, I wanted to address Neil's search for a dual sport motorcycle of choice. Now, Emma, I think you might like this one. He says, I spent 5 years on a DR650 that I truly enjoyed and helped me get into adventure riding. I just recently sold that bike and replaced it with a WR250R. Did you hear that, Kerry?
I hear that, yes.
He says, the difference between my DR650 and the WR250R on trails and off-road is dramatic. My confidence on the little Yamaha is so much greater than it was on my DR650. I know Neil is coming from a different background with much more dirt experience than I. That being said, I went to Carnegie SVRA last weekend and was able to climb many trails that were difficult for me. At one point, I switched bikes with the most capable rider in the group, and he was climbing hills with no difficulty on the WR250R. Personally, I really enjoyed the 250 on the street. The motor just keeps on revving and it doesn't vibrate, and you really can scoot along quite well. It's a pleasure riding a bike with a wide open throttle and wringing its neck. Additionally, I'm finding bikes in the mid $3,000 to $4,000 range that are available and in good condition with Farkles. All that being said, whatever you choose, it's going to be awesome. Wishing you luck on your search for your next bike. Liza and Emma and all the Misfits want to say that I really appreciate your podcast. I've learned so much and hope to see you at the rally in April. Be well, Matt.
Hey.
Hey-oh. Yay. Hey, thanks, Matt.
I don't think the WRs are street legal now, the 250s.
Kerry?
The old ones were, but not the new ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, but yours is a 125R and
those
it
are
is
street
street
legal.
legal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the 250R ain't.
The 250 is not.
No.
Right.
So you have to get the 400 to be street
They
legal?
don't have a bigger.
We don't have a street legal WR anymore, except for the 125.
Ooh.
That's true.
So-
Wow.
But if I may, can we lead into this one since
Sure.
this addresses the same thing? Excuse me, let me position myself. Yeah, so this email is from, I left my glasses in the car, so I'm struggling.
There's
with
some
flashlight here.
leftover readers behind you if you need them.
Would you like to
No.
borrow mine?
Yes, please. Oh, yeah, thank you. All right, hang on one second.
There actually are. They may or may not work. Let's find out.
We're old.
Yes, we are, in fact, old. Oh, that's much better. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Goodness. All right. Let's see.
Serendipity.
Yeah, great. Flashlight helps anyway. This is from Daniel Cronin Photography.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. He's a good egg.
Dan says, after listening to Neil's considerations for the next dual sport, yada yada, light, highway capable, can ride some single track. Emma mentioned the WR250R. Dan went from a big board DR650 to a WR250R about 2 years ago.
It's the same one?
No, I thought
Whoa.
it was at first.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's a
But
quickie dink.
this one takes a twist. So he went from the DR650 to the WR250R. Great bike, so light and flickable because of its weight, but he missed the tractorability and low end torque that he was used to on the DR650. And after riding the WR down in Baja and multiple BDR trips, he decided to turn it into a 290 with a big bore kit.
Oh.
Right. This was a great learning experience for me, and the bike now has the low-end torque that I missed. These bikes are the only sub-300 fuel-ejected 6-gear Japanese bike out there and isn't something expensive and maintenance-heavy like the Honda 450 RL. So Dan's vote is for the WR for Neil. Check out Fortnine's video on how the WR is the unicorn of this sport bike, dual sport world. But we all let it slip away. So... another option would be the CRF 300, which I actually did a little tiny bit of research here, and yeah, the CRF 300L would be another good choice. It's a bit more pricey, but it's about the same performance wise and weight wise and stuff like that. But since I'm slightly Yamaha biased, I would look into that big bore kit for the WR250R.
She's smiling. Did you see how big that grin
That
is
would
on
be-
her?
That would be pretty cool. I had a WR250R and I really liked it. But yeah, boarding it out to a 290 would be pretty sweet. I think that'd be good. I'd go that way. So Dan, if you're listening, check out that big bore kit.
Nice.
Nice.
All right,
Or-
John, you got a hefty one there.
I do, yeah. This is from Allie G.
Hey, Allie.
Allie G?
Alex G.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
Allie G is somebody else. From Borat.
my wife.
Very nice.
It's a very nice.
Very nice.
Dear Misfits, I hope you all are well and getting some nice riding. And if there's ever been a winter that I've been living vicariously through all of you, it's this year for sure. The weather here in Pennsylvania has been abject misery. We got 14 inches of powdery bullshit a week ago, and it's been sub-zero overnight, accompanied by daily flurries of various accumulations for the past week. To top it off, they seem to be using more salt on the roads than ever, and it just makes the cleansing spring rain and warmth feel further and further than ever. So thank you for the wonderful banter and conscientiousness. Anyhow, Miss Emma asked at the end of the last podcast, number 659, what will we be or want to be riding in the spring? Well, let me tell you. Well, let me take you back several months where I asked all of you if I should modify or replace my CR250F Rally. TRF 250 Rally. Essentially, and especially with the wisdom of Miss Emma, you suggested I replace the bike rather than modify, which just so happened to be the way I was leaning. So off to the Royal Enfield dealer to purchase a Himalayan, or so I thought. Believe it or not, there are two dealers nearest to me, but only one had the color I wanted, matte tan. What luck. One left. When arriving, the new Himalayan was a bit dirty and had 200 miles on it. Okay, that's okay, right? But it also had several accessories that Enfield had the dealer install to show them off, a couple of which I was thinking about anyway, until the dealer quoted me, I shit you not, $9,992 for a 2024 Himalayan in 2025.
What?
Exactly.
Wow.
No budging, no
Is that the out the door price?
no budging, no accessory removal to reduce the price, no money off because it was essentially a demo. Damn it.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's
Backdoor price.
insanity.
Oof.
No. Crazy.
That really is, isn't it?
Yeah, they're
They didn't really
really
want to sell it.
trying hard.
Not being discouraged, I took a step back. I had wanted a Himalayan so badly, having demoed. There it is. Sorry. A few at Barber in the vintage motorcycle days, but that was souring. There had to be another way. Well, my partner and my greatest love in life is incredibly supportive of my riding and sat me down to have the talk. We had just moved a few months prior and unexpectedly ended up with some money from selling our old house. Well, that's a good problem.
How do you unexpectedly end up with money after selling your house?
Somebody else's
Send it this
house.
way.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be
higher
nice.
bid. Nice.
She also was very well aware that my beloved Moto Guzzi V85, after about 5 years and 63,000 miles, was giving me frustrating issues to where I'd stopped trusting it for anything other than zipping around town.
Ooh.
If you could have any bike, what would it be? Is she serious?
Whoa.
I couldn't believe the words coming out of her mouth. Could I really get up my up-the-butt bike without having to take it up the butt? Cut to the following weekend as I tearfully rode my V85 for the last time. And of course, it ran fucking perfect. A bike that had taken me so many places and so many adventures, and parked it next to my new bike that had just been rolled outside. So, Miss Emma, I'm very sorry, but this spring I'll be riding a still rather new BMW 1300 GS trophy. Asshole fully intact. With any luck, I'll finally be visiting the recycle garage sometime in the summer to soak up the California sun and ride the PCH, which is now open on my GS. For what it's worth, you all are very dear to me, and I'm grateful that you're a part of my life. My riding experience wouldn't be the same without you. Lots of love from the frigid shithole, Alex.
Oh,
Aw.
Wow.
All these riders that are freezing in places. I'm so blessed.
I know
Anyone-
it's going to get down to 50s this week.
Anyone else got an email from somebody who's frigid?
I do.
All right, well, let's go. Joe first, and then
Bagel's
you
got
Bagel.
one. You can let Bagel go.
Go ahead,
first.
Joe.
Okay, all right, here we go.
His is long. Go. Let's go.
I have
with you.
so no sympathy for people who are cold. I should, but I didn't. All right. So this is from Patrick McNamara.
Patty.
Hey, Patty. He's going to be at
That's my
Isle of
boy.
Man with us.
He will be.
Yeah.
So with 6 inches of snow on the ground and another
Wah, wah.
8 predicted for this weekend, I think I might need those reading glasses. Y'all's podcasts are keeping me going. Gray and frigid New Jersey has been wanting to go for a ride in the worst way. All right, Emma asked for what we are waiting to ride. Uh-oh, hang on.
They were.
Oh, y'all getting old.
The
Come
glasses
on.
are making a.
is
making
my
a
problem.
trouble.
Wearing glasses already.
I got one contact lens per 1,000 yards, and I got one contact lens so that I can see my speedometer. That's it. All right. So I bought an RC51 3 years ago. I bought an SP2 in parts, and in theory, I have all the pieces to put it together. Motor is the same frame, runs.
Mm-hmm.
And runs, so that hurdle is crossed.
Cool.
I want to ride this summer, hell or high water. As for motorcycle trips, I'm doing the Arizona BDR, hopefully not
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
on your RC51, just saying, with a couple of friends and going to the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
See you there, Liza. We are
Living the life.
we are in the glamping section near the start/finish.
Yeah, and we'll see you at Vintage Days too. You know,
So-
Patty.
Yep. Looking like it's going to be a great summer. Already have my Mid-Ohio tickets too.
Yeah.
Thinking about another pit bike or selling them all and buying a Benelli 135.
You know it.
Ooh.
Not a dong.
Yeah.
Gonna go with the dong.
God.
Gonna go with the dong.
I want a dong so bad.
Can't wait to see you guys. Stay safe in sunny Santa Cruz.
Wow.
Jesus.
It's the first time you wanted a dong, Liza?
Did you Google Benelli dong yet? Sophia, you got to look that up.
Okay, I'll look it up.
As
There we
Bagel's reading his, you got to Google
Because
it.
the rest of us are going, hey, we need to protect our professional Google accounts and make sure that we're not getting
I'm
something
telling you
sneaky.
it's safe. All right, Bagel, go ahead.
Is it electric?
All right.
Oh, it's electric. It's an electric dong.
More power.
Get
hold
to
on.
charge your dong.
And does it? What does it resemble to you?
It's like a spicy Yama hopper. It's like
What
a
does
little
the
more,
seat look like to you?
Looks like
You
an
gotta look at the
eggplant.
purple seat.
Yeah.
Images. Hang on.
What do you think of that,
It is
Sophia?
an eggplant is a good
It does seem
descriptor.
like
It's a
the
nice-
seat is supposed to look like something.
All right, we'll just move on. All right.
Was it helmet shaped?
Go ahead, Bagel.
Okay. I have an email here from Alexei. He writes, greetings from a snowy and cold upstate New York.
Mm.
Dear Misfits, longtime listener, second-time emailer here. When I drove my son to school this morning, our car's dash reported minus 6 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
Well, that ain't no joke.
It was a sunny winter morning with the snow crunching under our feet as we stepped out of the house. All the local lakes are covered in ice and snow. I've been too tired or lazy to make it down to my shed and fire up the propane space heater to get any work done on my poor broken down Bandit 1200 or to have a look at the RS 125R two-stroker to start prepping it for the race season. It's been a good couple months since I fired up the Ural. And I don't even know when I had the Vespa. I don't even know when I last had the Vespa come to life. But all is not doom and gloom up here. A couple of weeks ago, I had a bit of spare time and hankering to get out our local cross country, get to our local cross country ski spot to get the blood flowing and be in the woods. It's only a few miles from our house, all local country roads. Best way to get there? Why a TTR125, of course. Here's a couple fun pics of it. And it shows some pictures of the bike in the snow with some very warm clothes on, it looks like.
Yeah.
He says, it's a little chilly riding back after working up a sweat on skis, but well worth it. After I got home, I did make a fool out of myself when I did a little turn in place and managed to make the chain skip off the back sprocket and wedge itself proper around the counter shaft.
Oh no.
I got to find a better slack adjustment on this bike. This certainly isn't the time to be riding road bikes, and I'm trying to keep the Ural out of the salt. But thanks to the little humble TTR, I get to have a bit of that year-round riding lifestyle, too. Now, I do need to get more garage time and make more progress, damn it. The RS needs a new top end. The Bandit has a mysterious misfire. But most of all, the little project PW50 I bought for my son to grow into has a frozen engine mount bolt. With the help of some friends and an auger press, we started to press that bolt out as it was taking parts of the inner bearing race with it. Fun times to be continued. Life is always surprising and testing us, and the world might feel like it's about to spin off its axis. Last summer, my dad was ill and in the hospital for a stretch. It was a rough time.
Oh, bummer.
I had plans to do one race meet, but I had to cancel. When my dad was back home, there was one final opportunity for me to make it to the track that season, and the date was fast approaching. My dad needed extra care. And though my incredible wife was there, I still felt stretched and overwhelmed. I could feel depression setting in. And then on my worst day, my neighbor had his great-granddaughters over to his house. They're a little older than my son, and 3 of them are really tight, always wanting to play together. They came over, and we got the little electric Razor dirt bike out. They took turns riding around on it, laughing and trying and crashing and sending it again. Their joy was infectious, and I remembered how excited I felt getting on a bike and doing something new for the first time. Just like that, I was snapped out of the funk. The joy was always there. You just had to be open to it to receive it. I did end up making the races, and we took my dad with us.
Yay!
I didn't set out to write any kind of inspirational message. I think I just wanted to thank everyone who ever helped me remember about the sweeter and more precious parts of life, even if they'll never know how they touched me. Thank you, Misfits, for doing everything you do and for staying in my ears every week. Thank you for helping our friends and neighbors at the Recycle Garage and for spreading the joy far and wide.
Aww.
Much love from the East Coast, Alexi.
Thanks, Alexi. Yeah, Wendy got a lot of joy today because I let her help everyone in the garage.
Well, speaking of a lot of joy, before we go to my email, I think Kerry has had a revelation. She's crying over here looking at the picture of the dong. So
I just got it.
Oh, it's the only scooter that's been circumcised.
Oh my God. I just got it. I was looking too closely. Then I took a step back. I'm like, oh, there it is.
There it is. There it is.
But the switches on one of the handlebars, wow, that doesn't help either.
It's like they
it's a cock and
needed
balls.
a passenger seat, so they made it.
Wow. I really want a dong. Yep. All right. Who's next?
Well, we'll go on to my email from Gordon. Hi there. Just ran across your podcast and have been loving it.
Aw.
Just signed up as a patron to help you all keep up the good work. Thank you, Gordon. Brief background before getting to my question in case it helps. At 50, I'm a returning rider, even though I've had bikes in my garage for the past 25 years. I learned to ride at 16 when my dad bought a 1992 XLH 1200 Sportster.
It's like you, Johnny.
After college, had a CBR 600 F2 for a few years, followed by a Harley Road King in 2007. Shortly after which, life happened, kids, career, etc., and hence, not a lot of riding for quite a while. My return to riding was rekindled a year or two ago when my wife demanded that I ride my bike or give her garage space back. Unfortunately, I lost the Road King last year when someone merged into my lane. While my main bike was out of commission, I started riding that original 92 XLH 1200, which leads me to my question. After the accident, I've naturally been interested in increasing my visibility, and I'd like to convert to brighter LED lights and turn signals, as well as upgrading to rear turn signal function as running lights and possibly additional brake lights as well. It seems there was a significant change in wiring over the years. This Sportster has single-wire rear turn signals and uses the frame ground with turn signals only and no running lights. Everything I have found online about converting to LEDs seems to be related to newer bikes with 2- and 3-wire wiring. Ideally, I'd like to get these working as both running lights and brake lights when switching over to LEDs. There is a lot of conflicting data between using resistors, LED relays, and diodes, and where exactly in the wiring to introduce them. Any information about how to convert this old thing to LEDs, particularly the proper components and the best place in the wiring to add them. Also, if it is relevant, the dash has separate indicator lights for left and right turn signals.
Oh, you'll need that.
Thanks a lot, Gordon.
Emma knows a little bit about turn signals on Harleys.
Yeah. So, Gordon, it's very, very easy, darling. Well, it's easy and hard. What I would do in your case, is stick with the separate turn signals and stop tail light. Your stop tail light, you can just put an LED bulb in there. You can get them anywhere. They're going to be super bright. They're going to be lovely. Your turn signals, all you need to do is get load equalizers. You can get them from online. You can get them from your local bike shop. You can get them from the independent place. They're like $20. You need 2, 1 for each side. And you put them anywhere on the circuitry. You put them anywhere on your purple turn signal wire, and it'll just slow it down. So load equalizers, LED bulbs, Bob's your uncle.
Those diodes, with people talking about putting diodes in the system, those really are for when you have a single indicator on your dash showing that a turn signal is functioning. It keeps it. Yeah, it just keeps it from backfeeding through the system when it's...
he's all he needs to do is he needs to slow those flashes down. Just get yourself a pair of load equalizers and you're good.
Right, but he also wants to have running lights in the turn signals too, from what it sounds like.
I'm going to try and navigate him away from that.
That's right. That's going to be trickier because then you're going to need to change the bulb sockets and set it up for dual filament bulbs.
Yes.
Unless you can find some kind of LED kit that does both and run a separate wire to it.
All those things.
It's going to get a lot more involved. And honestly, I was very interested in the LEDs when they first came out, but my experience with them is that a lot of times they actually don't show up as brightly as incandescent bulbs, because part of the problem with LEDs is that they put out directional light, which means the light goes straight out from the LEDs inside the bulb. So if you have this, LED bulb thing that plugs into a light bulb socket, but it's pointed sideways, it's shooting those light beams out sideways in your turn signal. Now, the incandescent bulb sends light out in all directions, and that's designed to hit the reflector behind it and send it backwards. If you have an LED bulb, it's sending out to the side, so only you're getting a fraction of the light sent back to the people behind.
They make them though that are that have them on the all sides too. You just got to get the right kind.
Yeah, there are some that are multi-directional. Right. So make sure you're getting the right kind if you're going to go that route. But honestly, if you're worried about visibility behind you, your best bet is going to be a brake-free. The units that we've talked about before that our friend Alex came up with, those things are literally a lifesaver. These are independent brake and turn and tail lights that stick on the back of your helmet, so they're up high, they're nice and visible. They are not connected to your bike at all. They use accelerometers. They're rechargeable, so you just plug it in when you're done at the end of the day and have a full charge next time you go out. They are amazing. They light up really bright on the back of your helmet with LEDs, so they're pointed in the right direction, so people will see you very well. And because it uses an accelerometer, as soon as you even let off the throttle, you don't even need to hit the brake light will come on. Kind of like one pedal driving in an electric car. you just let off the throttle, the brake light comes on. So people will see that you're slowing down before you even hit the brakes on your bike.
It's funny, Bagel, because before you even said that, Kerry was pointing at her head and going, brake free, brake free.
Yep.
Yeah, we were
that
talking
is-
about flashing lights earlier today outside at the garage, and the brake free also has the mode where it can be constantly flashing, or
Yep.
it could flash just when you're stopping.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And that's
Yeah.
something else that I was going to say. Different ways to make yourself more visible without necessarily going the LED route. Liza is a huge proponent of modulated headlights. You can also get modulated taillights, and be aware of what's legal in your area. But that is my husband commutes in Los Angeles, and he said the modulated headlights and taillights cut his close calls by about 90%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And high-vis gear, reflective gear as well for night riding. There are a lot of things you can do for visibility that don't involve electrical systems.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Did we get to all the emails?
Yep.
Woohoo! We're all caught up now. Yay. And which is great because we're coming to the end of the show. This is a perfect time to remind everyone to come to the Misfits rally.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
April 13th through 16th?
16 through 19.
Dang it. My phone died.
Are you
April
coming, Wendy?
16th through 19th.
I'm coming this year.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
So, before we go,
Yeah.
I have a big announcement.
Yeah.
So I had quite an important interview last Wednesday
Oh,
with
yeah.
Department
Yeah.
of Homeland Security. I am now cleared for global entry. What does that mean? I'm going back to the Dolomites this year.
Nice.
That's great.
So,
Congrats, Emma.
so yeah, it's hey,
Do you have dates you're announcing yet?
I'm gonna come on and announce all the dates
Okay.
next week when I'm there in person. We're going to be doing the Dolomites. That's the Keystone Tour, but we've got a fabulous trip lined up in. It'll come to me in a minute. I've just suffered from a brain fart. What's the mountain range between France and Italy?
The Alps.
The
The Alps.
Pyrenees.
The
The
Pyrenees.
Pyrenees.
And
France and Spain.
no, wait a minute. Forgive
The
me.
Alps.
The
No,
Alps.
it's not the Alps, but I will have all the details
Okay.
next week. We're doing 2 fantastic trips in 2026. I'm going on both. We're signing up people. Remember, the hallmark of my trips is if you can afford a used bike, you can go on one of these trips.
Thank you, Emma. I forget. Is it that you do take aspirin when you're having a stroke, or you don't?
I take aspirin when I have my brain stroke.
Okay, go take some aspirin, Emma.
Yeah.
I will.
Another thing. So Jim and I and some others are
Not
planning.
medical advice, just
Yeah,
for clarification.
yeah.
So Jim and I and a few others are planning to go to Jawbone Canyon. It's a more dirt bike desert riding, 26th through the 1st of February. So it's February 26th through March 1st.
Be kind and bring firewood.
Yep.
There you go. There's all the Misfits happenings. Well, I wanted to thank you all for coming. What'd you guys think? Did you have fun?
Woo. Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie feels like she dodged a bullet. You hardly got to talk.
Oh yeah, I mean I was here though.
I was in the room and
It's kind of like having Neil. If
You
you
get
just
to look at all the toys.
Yes. And John, no one sprayed you, so you're in luck.
Sprayed me?
Not yet.
Yeah, all the pheromones
Oh,
and all the,
My mam's boobs grow.
That's all right. There's still time, my friend.
This is that time to remind everyone to go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com. If you find the links to anything there, you'll, I think, Emma, I'll need to make sure which trip you're on so I can put the links there. And you can reach us at motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. Emma, what do you want people to tell you this time?
Well, let me think. What is a project you have in your garage that you regret starting right now?
My husband.
And feel free
Whoa.
to reach out if we can help you bring it to conclusion.
That's a good
So-
one.
Once you start and you're like, oh shit, I wish I'd never started this.
What have I gotten myself into?
That
Yeah.
stator that I have to pull apart in my BMW.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you.
I've got a giant turquoise Packard in my driveway that I feel that way.
oh no.
And wait, what are you calling that car?
Oh, I'm not on the air, darling.
Really?
No, I can't say its name is Fudge on the air.
Oh, absolutely can. Come on now.
You call it the
Oh,
Fudge Packard.
Nice. Nice.
Fudge for short.
Fudge
Yeah.
for sure. Well, this is also the time I'd like to thank all of our listeners for sending in emails, checking in with us, coming to our events, coming by the garage, donating gear. By the way, we are open for business. We are ready to take in more gear. We're almost out. We managed to get rid of a lot of it. So if
Holy
you
cow.
have, I know. So if you have gear you want to donate, bring it on by. We will rehome it for you. But especially Patreon subscribers, thank you so much for giving to us. You guys are the best. Really appreciate it. If you want to be a Patreon subscriber, you can find information on our website, motorcyclesandmisfits.com. So time to get out of here. Thank you, everybody. This is Liza.
I'm Sophia.
Stumpy John.
Joe.
Wendy.
Carry 1.
Carry 2.
Bagel.
Emma, darling.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.